I'm QRG.
Hi guys, I'm RNA.
And we're the QRG and RNA
Q&A
crafting podcast.
Yeah.
So, okay, so there's a lot of stuff we want to cover. So first, we're not really big speechy people. But we do want to note all the stuff that's going on with diversity and inclusion in the crafting community right now, because it's huge and it's, yeah, busy. So, so I guess what we want to do is just mention all the people that we think are awesome. But, yeah. So, I do watch several podcasts that are of BIPOC people or LGBTQ people. So I watch Happy Knits, who is awesome. I love watching Yolanda and her son do crafting stuff. They just have a fun interaction. And then, yeah, there's some background noise. There's some other people in the other room.
My youngest son is here, and he's playing video games with her husband. So there's some gaming happening out there.
A little
so
bit
you'll
of
hear
yelling.
them.
A little bit of yelling.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I like the Drunk Knitter, Sophia, and she has a podcast, and she's a blogger and designer, and she's really fun to watch. And I watch the Knitting Annihilator, and Kira also is entertaining and sometimes has, you know, kids show up and they're super cute. So I think that's all the podcasts. You got any podcasts? Because I know you're not.
No, I don't have any podcasts. I don't watch a lot of podcasts or listen to many of them. I'm just branching out into the podcast world. So I don't have many that I listen to, and the ones that I do listen to, I don't think are BIPOC inclusive quite yet, but I'm absolutely going to be branching out into that. So actually, can we talk about what BIPOC is? Because I actually had to look.
Go ahead.
I had to look that up actually. So BIPOC, I did not know what it was, but it is Black and Indigenous people of color. So we just want to make sure that we're bringing that up, and with February being Black History Month and things, we thought we wanted to include that. But here's Simmy. Hi, Simmy.
She was making more noise. We don't need more noise going on.
Yeah. So did you want to introduce her really quick since you've got her right there?
Oh, well, we did get asked to talk about our animals. Do you want to finish our segment first?
Oh, yeah, if you want to.
Finish first.
Since you had her there, I just didn't know if you wanted to do that.
I know, she's just visiting. She's involved here.
So the BIPOC folks that I found on Instagram that I thought had some really interesting things and really lovely wares was Natalie Warner of BrylliantKnits, and Rondica Melvin of AfroHooker, and Stephenie Kone of Bee Spirit. The three of those ladies looked like they were very strong ladies and had some really great products and things that they've been knitting. So I was inspired by those.
Yeah, Sophia from the Drunk Knitter has some really pretty designs out there that I've seen. I just realized looking into it that I went through all my previous projects, and either you can't tell because there's no pictures, or they're all like white chicks, just like me. So I'm gonna have to expand. So if you know any awesome designers that we should knit something from, definitely let us know.
Or if you are one, just give us your info. We want to include you.
Yes. Okay.
We want to support you.
For dyers, I only really know Sweet Georgia Yarns, which I'm actually knitting some of her stuff right now. And I've been hearing a lot about the Neighborhood Fiber Company, but I just have not used any of their yarn yet. Looks really pretty though. I've been on their website a few times. And
the LGBTQ?
Yes. There's one podcast I watch called Sweet Tea No Shade, and I just love watching those guys. They're really amusing, and they have a wide variety of projects that they make on there, and yarns, and you know, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Well, the one that I have is actually Daniel Nunez of MostlyBadFly, and I think you would like him a lot because he does a lot of cowls, and they're really beautiful and colorful and stuff. So
color's good.
Yeah, you should look him up, and he's on Instagram.
We'll have to trade names later.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we're on to FOs then, and then we'll do questions after.
FOs meaning finished objects.
Yes, we're gonna make you wait to meet the dogs.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a really important finished object right now,
and that is my socks. Woo! They are done, and I have worn them, and I have washed them, and they are soft and amazing, and kind of bright right now because of the light that I have on them. But
they do look like they glow a little bit.
They do glow a little bit on the camera. They are not quite that bright in person, but anyway, yeah. So super exciting and super comfy.
Lovely socks.
Yes.
I also have socks. Not exciting because I make a pair of socks every month, but
Right.
I have socks, Desert Vista socks, which I've also worn and washed since finishing them. Do you have any other FOs? Because I have a lot, and I can go through them real quick.
Nope. No, nothing that I've been working on. I've got something that started, so it's a work in progress. So that'll be next though.
Okay, so I finished a lot of stuff. Some more fingerless mitts. Everything's already packaged because I've put it up in the shop already. So, fingerless mitts. That's the 5x5 pattern. It's my Nosferatu colorway. And then I have my basic cowl pattern here, which I've got
Very
three
pretty.
different sizes of. This is my favorite size. That is the Tonks colorway. It's a double wrap. This is Bad Reputation, which is just good, snuggly, warm size.
Nice.
And then we have the necklace size, which is a little more decorative, like tuck under your jacket. And I have a basket cowl in that same size, which the Basketcase pattern is out too. So, yeah, I made a lot because I forgot how fast worsted weight knits up. It's really fast when you knit sock yarn all the time.
Yes,
very fast.
I'm sure it's magically fast when you're so used to sock yarn.
It's very fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I have lots of those.
Yeah.
Whips.
Works in progress, yeah. So my work in progress right now is a hat of my own that is from the same yarn that I made my youngest hat out of. And it is the Loops and Thread. Loops and Threads. Goodness, that light is bright.
It is a very bright light.
Charisma. And it's like halfway done, and I've worked on it for maybe 2 hours or 3 hours
Yarn
perhaps. It's
needles
really
is
fat,
amazing.
really fat yarn. I love it.
Okay, I have a couple more cows that I'm going to talk about when we get to shop stuff because they're shop related.
The works in progress.
Yes.
Ones. Okay.
And then I've got my scrap blanket, just slightly bigger than it was before. I
Progress
made
is good.
almost a whole nother round on it.
Very nice.
And then I got to make, well, I've started the Down the Road and Back Again by Megan Williams.
I like this one.
So here's a picture
Beautiful.
of her shawl, folded all funny.
Because it sits in a bag.
Yes, and making this one, this is in Sweet Georgia yarns that I picked up on a trip. Oh, I folded a little. And I got to learn how to do the old Norwegian Cast On for this, so
Ooh.
it's my first time doing it, and it was good.
It looks
It's very,
really beautiful.
the cast on's a lot like just long tail cast on, so it wasn't that hard to learn once you saw a couple of videos.
Very nice.
So I like that. Okay, that's it for whips. Adventures.
Adventures.
I have no current adventures. I haven't gone on any. I've just been doing a lot of yarn, housework, puppy things recently. But I am getting ready to go on a trip. We're gonna go, taking my husband out to Seattle to meet my friends out there that I haven't seen in a long time. Long enough that my husband has never met them. So, yeah.
That'll be fun. So I don't know that I've gone on any adventures or anything like that, but necessarily. But I do have a little bit of an adventure in my life right now, which is my oldest child has a girlfriend. And that's an adventure. Kind of strange and weird territory, but he does. He's got a girlfriend, and she's cute, and she's sweet. So they enjoy their time together, and I've enjoyed getting to know her a little bit. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, to the Q&A. The most important part of our Q&A podcast. That it only takes us, well, 10 minutes to get to. Okay.
Yeah.
right, questions. This is the question book, by the way, because, yeah. You gotta keep them somewhere, right?
Yep.
Okay. Ellis asked, what root vegetable would you be and why?
All right. So initially, I thought that I would like to say that I would be ginger, but I don't know that's a vegetable. That's not a vegetable, is it?
Well, a ginger root.
It's a root, but I don't know that it's a vegetable though. That was my conundrum. So then I decided maybe rutabaga. Because I like the word.
Just because it's fun to say.
I think it's fun to say. And yeah, and it's tasty when you roast it up with other root vegetables. Right. So I chose rutabaga. What about you?
I think I would probably choose beets, just because no matter what you do, they're going to dye things different colors. Your skin, your tongue, your teeth, your other food that you mix it with.
I like the color a beet makes. For sure.
Okay. Addison had some questions.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is, what colors are the hardest or easiest to deal with when dyeing? So I guess the hardest to deal with is red, because the red that I use, I really like the shading and the color of it that I use to mix for things, but it is hard to get it to dissolve properly. So sometimes if I don't spend all the time dissolving it, it will leave little speckles of red that haven't quite mixed in on the skins that I dye, which is not really what you're going for when you want like purple or something out there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, and then we have from Addison asking if I come up with the name first or the color, and that varies a lot, just depending. Sometimes I am listening to a song or watching a movie or something, and I go, that needs to be a fucking colorway. And sometimes
inspiration.
Yeah, and then I had to come up with colors that relate to that in my mind somehow.
Nice.
Or sometimes I'll come up with colors that I just think look great together, and then I have to try to associate that. So it's a varying thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Your turn for Addison questions.
Yeah. So Addison also asked, did knitting or crochet come first? And I did do a little bit of research on that because I wasn't sure. And what I found out is that knitting came before crochet. Knitting actually came around the 11th century. The oldest artifacts that they can find were from Egypt, and they were a set of knitted socks. And there is some color work in there, and there are some short rows for the heel in those socks. And so because of that, they feel as though knitting had actually been around longer than those artifacts actually are, because of the technical, I don't know, complexity of the items. Mm-hmm. So, and then some earlier pieces prior to those socks actually have a knitted or crocheted appearance, but they are actually, it's a looping technique with yarn called Nella binding, and I've not ever heard of that before, but those actually, some artifacts of that type of technique date back to between 300 BC and 380. And then the first crocheted fabrics that they really saw much prevalence with started arriving around the 19th century. So there we go. It's Nella binding, and then knitting, and then crochet.
Also, I like that the first thing they found was socks, because socks are
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes.
And also, the Egyptians, had that obsession with cats. I don't know if there's some kind of correlation there.
I don't know. That would be an interesting thing to know for sure, right? But socks, yes. I'm not surprised that you found that to be the most interesting part. Yeah. And then finger crochet was mentioned in our previous podcast, and so that is, for me, actually was like looping through just one loop and bringing the yarn through, and I called it finger crochet, but it would just make like a long chain. And then my youngest is actually doing, I guess he calls it finger knitting, but he'll wrap the yarn around his fingers and then actually do some knitting onto the fingers, and it makes like a long, what did you call it? Like a
snake blanket.
Snake blanket. But yeah, so he calls it a scarf, or yeah. So, but he makes necklaces and scarves and different things with the finger knitting that he likes to do. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Next, Josie Bug wants us to talk about our pets.
Yes. Perfect timing.
So I have 2 pets in here with us, although one seems to be hiding under the bed right now. This is Sammy. She got named after a character in the book series I read. It's a demon. So I have a little demon, but she's super cute and snuggly. And our other dog, Ragnarok, is somewhere in here. He's a mixture of Beagle and Pug and Yorkie, but he's like Beagle-sized. But he's got the Yorkie hair and coloring, so he's kind of like our dire Yorkie, we call him.
Yeah.
And he's a little scaredy cat, even though he's twice the size of Simmy. She's the brave one.
She does dominate him a little bit.
And then we have a cat in the back, Rosie the Destroyer, and she just cannot have access to paper products because you might hear her squawking in the background. She likes to destroy all things paper. Yeah.
That's appropriate for her name.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then the animals that I have are not here with us, but I have a Chihuahua that was my grandmother's, and when she passed away 2 falls ago, she left the dog to us, and his name is Brutus. He is kind of cantankerous a little bit and definitely set in his ways. And then we have a German Shepherd that we have had a long time. She is 14, and Brutus is 12. But our female dog is Sasha, and she is the best dog that we've ever had. Absolutely super protective of our kids and just sweet as can be. So we also have 2 cats. There is Lucy and Katniss, and they are sisters. One's a long hair, one's a short hair. They're both tabbies, gray and black.
Just gonna throw this in here while you're talking.
Hi Ragnarok. Hi Bubba. Yeah, he's a sweet boy. And then we also have chickens, like 10 chickens. So lots of animals at my house.
Chickens are a useful pet.
Yeah, they are. Eggs are delicious.
Okay. Okay, here, you go first. Emily, where are you in? Books.
Books. Okay, so some recent books that I've either read or am reading. So let's see. I've got recently, and I did talk about this on a previous podcast, I do believe, The Happiness Project by Gretchen and Ruben, and that was a good one. Currently, I am reading The Mighty Miss Malone by Christopher Paul Curtis. That is actually, I'm reading it along with my 11-year-old so that we can kind of have a book discussion and help him get the greater meaning of books and deeper discussions into books. And then I am wanting to read Crenshaw by Katherine Applegate for the same purpose, but it's with my youngest. He just most recently read that, and so I'm wanting to have a book discussion with him about it, kind of get the meaning and things like that from that book. And then also Bonk is one that I'm really looking forward to reading, and that was one that I borrowed from Mary, and it's by Mary Roach.
Mary Roach is awesome.
I've heard that Mary Roach is awesome, but I've not read any of her materials. So
and many more of her books if you like that one.
I very much look forward to reading Bonk. Sorry. You got?
Okay.
Stuff too, right?
Well, what I'm currently reading, I just finished reading Marjorie and Liu's Hunter Kiss series, which I love, and I've read it several times. And I just started reading Rochelle Mead's Georgina Kincaid series, which is Succubus Blues. And it's about a lady at a bookstore who just happens to be a succubus with demons and stuff. Because I like the trashy paranormal romance, and I like having at least one book at all times that's really easy to read. Like, I don't have to work too hard to read it. It's just fun.
Kind of escape.
So, Rochelle Mead, by the way, she has this other book series that I'm going to read next, which is awesome, The Game Board of the Gods. I've read the first one, but I haven't read her second one yet, so that's in my to read next pile. I also like to have one serious book that I have to use brain power on, or at least, attention and think about it. So I'm almost done reading White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo. So it's a really good book. It's very interesting. And it really does make you think about your behaviors, so I like that.
Nice.
And then this is my to read next pile. So you can see there's some junk books mixed in with my non-junk books. So
Balance. I call that balance.
Yeah, balance. And then there's the educational, like yoga, learning, and body positivity. And I heard she's awesome.
I love her. I've watched her YouTube videos, but I've not read any of her books or anything. So that's
well, we can share that.
Yeah.
And then RBG, because yes, of course, I
Yes.
need to read that.
Yes.
Dorothy Must Die, because, well, I was born in Kansas, so there's some history there. And then, yeah, I borrowed this from a friend and have not read it. I've had it for probably like 2 months. I bet she really wants this back, so I need to get on that. And then The Bluest Eye. So, and then I also have The Hate You Give to read on my Kindle. So yeah, I don't know which one I'll read next, but we'll see what I finish first. If it ends up being a junk book or a thinking book.
Very nice.
Okay, so she asked, Emily Marianne wanted to know what we're reading now and our favorite authors. So that covers some, because Mary Roach really is one of my favorites, and Rochelle Mead and Marjorie and Liu, and yes.
Yeah. I think my favorite author, though, we were just discussing this, and I think mine's J.K. Rowling, just because I love the Harry Potter series.
I do love Harry Potter
much.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got them all down there on the shelf too somewhere.
Yep.
Because how can you not, really? And the movies, they did a good job with the movies, although I haven't seen the newest one yet. I'm behind the times. Because it's too cheap to go to the theater very often.
We can fix that. I've got that at my house.
Okay, we'll fix that.
Yeah.
Okay, Emily, you also asked what was the best Cards Against Humanity Knitters Edition combination. And we don't have one of those because I need some knitters to play it with. So maybe game night coming up in April, we'll get drunk and we'll have some good combinations that we can share with you, but not yet.
There you go.
Okay, last we've got 2 really good questions from Sandra.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the zombie apocalypse has occurred. Besides your survival gear, you have only one extra medium backpack to fit fun crafting stuff in to distract you when resting. What do you take with you? What would you take?
I love the depiction of the question. So, a medium backpack would hold a lot, I feel, and so I think I would take all of the yarn that I just covet and can't wait to knit.
Yeah.
All the beautiful colors, but then also all of the sizes of knitting needles and crochet hooks that I could find. And then I also would like to have, I think I would like to have some wood, what did I write down? What, cutting tools? Let's see.
Oh yeah, carving tools.
Hand tools for carving wood and wood burning supplies, because I feel like when you have like utensils and they're pretty, it makes me happy. So I feel like I could do that if I didn't have power, or
be the only one in the apocalypse with like fancy,
gorgeous
decorative, like scroll
things.
Work and
Not
animal
scroll
art
work.
and stuff on your spoons and bowls.
Yeah, I'll have some beautiful things. I'll have some
Very
beautiful
fancy.
things. Yeah, and it'll make me happy to make them. So
Of course.
Yeah.
I think I would for sure pack all my extra sock needles and as much sock yarn as I could shove in that bag, and then I would need to pack my interchangeables, because that's important. I might need to make something besides socks. I don't know what, but maybe someday something besides socks.
we will all need socks.
And then I would need some sewing stuff. I don't know how to use a sewing machine yet. I'll work on that because I do want to learn.
Have power, so you'll have to do a hand.
But
hand
yeah, that's what I'm saying. The apocalypse. It doesn't matter that I don't know how to use it
Very true.
because I know how to hand sew stuff. So
There you go.
I would have to bring a bunch of extra needles in case they broke or got lost.
Smart.
And all right, last one. Last question. Let me stop
And
the
that
puppy scratching.
is, if you could travel in time to anywhere or time, where would you go and why? We did a little discussing of this
We did.
the other
We
day.
discussed this. I don't think I would travel in time. However, I do have some questions. Are there any rules surrounding this? Because if I can go back in time a few years and be like, hey, younger Mary, I'd be like, when these people try to talk to you, do not talk to them.
Wise.
And then
Give yourself some advice.
and then some tips like, hey, go ahead and quit track because those girls are really mean. And that's no fun. But don't stop running.
That's right.
Yes. Because I
Yeah.
did like running and I still have not picked my running back up. I'm still sad. If I had to time travel, I would probably pick the 20s. Just because I like their clothes and the music.
That's a good choice. I think, I don't know that I would travel back in time either. However, I do like the 60s and 70s just because of the fashion and the free spirit of it all and all of that. So I do like that, but I don't like the oppression and the...
Yeah, I like having the right to
Wars
vote and I like indoor plumbing.
Yeah.
And I like that we do get to have discussions about, you know, racism and diversity, and I like that we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh, and that I can have a job and own property. I like that.
Yeah.
There's some important things that time travel will just not give us.
Right. So I like the time we live in.
Yeah, we're
Personally,
good.
yeah.
We're good. We're good. But maybe like a quick trip just for some life tips.
Life tips to our younger
Life
selves.
tips
I think
to
that'd be
pass
a good
through.
idea too. Yeah, for sure. I'd like to do that.
Okay. That was our last question for this time. So you need to send us some more questions.
For next
And they
time.
don't always have to be our opinion. We'll answer random, whatever you want to ask. So, but now we're going to talk about the knit along, and then we're going to talk about shop stuff. So if you're not interested in that, well, that's all we got for you. Okay. Okay, so for the knit along, we talked about it the last episode, and we did say we were going to announce the prizes this time. I have listed what they are in the Ravelry group, but there's no pictures yet because we wanted to show them off here. So, anyways, nobody's entered yet. So if anybody enters anything at all, you might win this whole lovely bag of
stuff.
yarn.
Knit a hat. Send it in.
Yes.
So it's the knit along is where we're going to be knitting hats for
Warmth for Warriors.
And that's where they send it either overseas or they distribute it to the
to
veterans, around the U.S. And so the things that they will like to know is the fiber content of the materials that you use for the hat.
That's the most important. And there are patterns listed. There's links to the patterns listed that they suggest you can use. I don't think you have to use them though. So, because you can crochet or knit or whatever.
Yeah. So prizes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, first off, we have Gypsy Girl Creations Transitions Evening Solitude. Some sock yarn.
Pretty.
Because I always have plenty of that lying around. Okay. And then, and so these as a prize will go as a set. Anything that there's two of, they go together. We're going to keep them together.
Okay.
All right, so there's two of these. Plymouth Yarn Company Happy Feet.
Those are pretty.
Sock yarn again. And the colorway is a number. So, but it is really pretty.
That's pretty.
Purples and blues and light colors. Okay. Then we're going to give away Best of the Worsted Soul Man from my Rebel Purl shop.
Which is also very beautiful.
Nice little blue. Well, I like it anyways. Okay.
Me too.
And then we have 5 skeins of this one. Patent Croy Socks FX. And the colorway is Clover Colors. 5 skeins of this, so they'll all go out together.
Very
So.
pretty.
Colorful. Yes. And last but not least, this one's Bohemia Fiber Company. She makes some great variegated colorways, and I love that they're usually themed about zombies or monster movies. And I've seen her dye yarn based on pictures of people's pets before, so she just does cool stuff. All right, so this is her colorway Jigsaw.
Nice.
So that is the last prize yarn. So all you have to do for that is put a picture of the hat that you're going to send to Warmth for Warriors up in our thread. And then we're going to close it. I didn't write that down, but the Thursday before the end of the month, we're going to close that thread. So anything that's entered in there before the Thursday, the last Thursday in this month, actually, yeah, because it's March now. So
Okay.
the last Thursday in March is going to be the last day, and then we'll probably draw that coming weekend. So that's why I want to have it all done then.
So the first week of April is when we'll be drawing.
Yeah, or like that weekend. Hence our scheduling. Scheduling is hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Shop stuff. So I've got new colorways out, and they just came out this morning because it's the first right now.
Yep.
First, I'm going to talk about the Monroe County Humane Association one. I already have a semi-solid out that when we first released it, we did as a donation skein, and money from each skein that was sold of that went for just the first 2 months that it was out But now we're coming out with a colorway that's a twist, so it's going to be out for March and April, and $5 from every skein of that we sell anytime that it's out in the shop. So it's out for these 2 months, and then it'll go away until next year for March and April again. So any skeins that we sell, whenever this one is out in the shop, we'll donate $5 more to the Monroe County Humane Association. So that is this one. It's called Positive Twist. Oh, and that. My skein is coming undone.
Uh-oh.
Gonna have to tidy that up. These 2 skeins are actually gonna go in my donation basket, which I'm gonna send a basket to their Tales on the Town event that they're doing next month, and they're gonna auction it off. So that was really exciting for me to get to do that.
That's awesome.
So here's the basket.
And the basket is beautiful. The basket itself and then everything that's in it, it's just beautiful.
Here's our basket. There's a dog toy because dogs need toys.
Gotta do it like that. Look at all that, guys. Look at all that.
There's some fingerless mitts with puppy paw prints on there. There is 2 skeins of the original semi-solid, and then there's 2 skeins of that done in a tonal version, and that's not going to be up in the shop. That's only going to be available in this basket, and that's it. And then there's 2 skeins of this, and then
very nice.
The objects, the finished objects, which aren't totally finished because I still have to weave in the ends, but they're almost done. I made a cowl with the colorway from last time.
Very nice.
And it's a basket weave cowl. And then we also made 2 smaller puppy-sized cowls that match the big one.
I love it.
So you can wear safety green, and so can your
green.
dogs on your walk. So
that's precious.
That's all going in the basket.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the rest of the colorways are not lime green, although there may be green involved. This one is Cherry Bomb. It looks pink on there, but it is just a really nice Julie red. Just our camera is a little funny, I guess, today. Kind of pink.
I thought it looked more red that time.
Did it?
You've shown it before, and it looked more pink the last time, I think.
All right, and then this one is Bowl of Citrus, which has lime and lemon yellow and some orange in there.
Pretty.
Because every adult needs a bowl of citrus in their kitchen. And then we have, because it's St. Patrick's Day this month, we have to have green. I think it's the law, actually. I think somebody would come to the house and ticket me or kick me or something. I didn't have green. So this one's called Make Your Own Luck.
Very nice.
And it's just 3 different shades of green twist dyed together.
So pretty.
Okay, and then 5x5 done in a tonal version. So it's a semi-solid up in the shop, but we're going to have the tonal out for now. Then we have, because I watch Gilmore Girls with my mom. Because it's a mother-daughter show, you got to watch it with your mom.
You got to watch it with your mom.
This one is called Coffee at Luke's. So we got the 2 blues and the coffee brown in between.
It's beautiful.
All right, and then my favorite one, which is of course inspired by Bikini Kill.
My favorite one too.
By their song Double Dare Ya. This one is called Revolution Girl Style Now.
All the colors.
Yeah.
So pretty.
Got that fluorescent orange with some kind of violet and blue and
So
just
colorful.
nice and bright and energetic. So, okay. And that one makes me happy. And that's the last thing. I had a lot of stuff, but I think that's my last thing.
Very good.
All right, so we need more questions.
Send them our way.
If you have any designers or podcasts I should watch, because I watch a lot to get through the workday. I watch and listen to a lot. Or any books that you think we should read. We want to hear about it. And really, seriously, send us some more questions, guys. So, okay, I think that's it.
All right. And as always, happy crafting.